Welcome to the Matrix BJJ podcast. My name is Paul Tokizolu, and thanks for tuning in to the show. My guest today is Christian Graugart, or Graugart, yogurt. We talk about that in this show. I still don't know exactly how to pronounce your last name. It's very mysterious. Christian is the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Globetrotters. If you haven't heard about BJJ Globetrotters yet, you are missing out on a great organization. BJJ Globetrotters was started by Christian, and it's kind of a network / training camp group / apparel company, affiliate, it's a whole bunch of things, but I like to think of it as a network of people from all over the world who like to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In 2012, Christian wrote a book called The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Globetrotter. That book documented Christian's travels all over the world to train Jiu-Jitsu. Since publishing that book, Christian has gone on to start hosting camps all over the world. In this episode of the podcast, we talk about Christian's travels. Recently, he just got done with the BJJ Globetrotters camp in Austria. So we talk about that and talk about a lot of things. When we recorded this, Christian was in Amsterdam following the camp, and he took us for a little tour around the city. Christian, what's up? Man, thanks a lot.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Thanks a lot for doing this show. I know you just got done with like the whirlwind of all whirlwind camps from what I understand.
Yeah, I just came from Austria, and we had our annual winter camp, and the winter camp is traditionally the most hardcore of all the Globetrotters camps. It's not official, but that's how it is. It is super ridiculously intense. So I had a day here in Amsterdam to relax and try to get some sleep, although I have been just working, and so I failed a little bit on that. But I'm in Amsterdam right now, and I'm flying back home tomorrow morning too early.
What time you fly out?
My flight is at 9, so I need to get up pretty early.
Man, that's Amsterdam's a good place to relax, though. It's one of my favorite cities that I've been to.
Well, I don't smoke anything, so I don't relax that much. But
right.
I found this super nice little, very authentic Amsterdam apartment here. It's probably the most narrow apartment I've ever been in my life. I'm pretty much like just under the top of the roof. So the bedroom is like the most claustrophobic bedroom I've ever tried. But
did you get it through Airbnb?
Cool. What's that?
Did you get it through Airbnb?
Yeah. And it's cheap, like 150 euros for 2 days.
Oh man, that's nice.
So I'm just gonna head down the stairs now because I'm on my way out to get some food. But
okay.
1 second, if there's some noise, just remember the keys. And these stairs are probably the steepest stairs I've ever seen in my entire life. It's ridiculous. There's literally like a rope at one part of it, so you can kind of rappel down. Because you have to walk backwards and hold. I'm doing that right as we speak.
Really?
Yeah, I'm holding the rope, and I'm actually like 80% rappelling down these stairs.
Christian, be careful.
Yeah. Well, if I die a beautiful death on your podcast.
Hey, that would be like that'd be the headline. Christian Graugart. Mm-hmm. How do you say your last name exactly? Is it Graugart or Graugart?
You don't really. Everyone always asks that in the podcast. And,
I know. I've heard you on lots of other shows, and you always say like it's too mysterious.
Just pronounce it any way you like. All right, I've survived. I'm out on the street. Good. I'm gonna go for a walk while we talk. I see prostitutes already. This is very authentic Amsterdam.
Hey, sounds like a great night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't really pronounce my name. Just say whatever you like. Call me anything you want.
Call you the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Globetrotter. The one.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's.
I think a few people have been globetrotting quite a bit more than me now, but I don't know.
You've started such a movement of sorts. You know, like the digital nomad lifestyle. I feel like it's been alive and well for a couple of years now. But I think you were one of the first to kind of catapult this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu digital nomad type of lifestyle.
It was never really on purpose, but I guess, you know, I had such a good experience with that myself, and I just kind of thought, can I maybe find a way to share this with others? And here we are.
I've read your book, and I was wondering, like, did you ever think it would become anything like this when you first started that book, or did you have completely different expectations?
No, never thought that. I pretty much, I haven't opened the book or really looked at the sales numbers or anything since I finished it. It was just, in a strange way, I never felt like anyone would actually read it. You know, when I was writing it, I never wrote it with, you know, with that in mind that someone else would actually read it. It was more like, felt like I just wrote that for myself, like kind of, I don't know, therapy or
like
challenge.
A journal or a blog or something.
Go ahead. I'm just gonna try not to get killed by a train here.
Dude, those trains have almost killed me like a couple dozen times.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but the book has been an interesting project. I think it's just like, I like to live a project-based life where I just kind of give myself weird challenges.
Yeah. Like,
write a book, try to get fat, grow your hair, stuff like that.
The grow your hair one.
The book was just one of them.
The grow your hair one is taken off tremendously.
Yeah, that worked pretty well. Yeah. That was a year project. I also had a project of trying to enter 100 buildings in Copenhagen I hadn't been in before, but that kind of failed. So I'm not bragging about that.
How did you fail? Were you like not able to find enough buildings, or were you like, did you have bad times in the 100 buildings?
No, it was really difficult to get to 100. It was very difficult. I was just thinking about, you know, when you travel, especially in like, it's pretty much like you're just on the surface of a city, right? You don't really get like, unless you meet some people, some locals, and they like take you into their home, and you know, you get that connection, then you pretty much just walk around on the streets without, you know, you don't really get deep into the city. And I was just thinking, what could I come up with as a project to kind of work on that? And so I thought I would try to get into 100 new places in Copenhagen where I lived, and like not counting stores or bars.
Man, that's a tough challenge right there.
Yeah, like get into people's homes and like just places I've never been before. It was really difficult. I got to like 67 or something.
Christian, that's a lot of rooms. That's a lot of people's houses.
Yeah, 67. It was kind of awkward inviting myself to people's houses all the time, but I mean, I had a project I had to do, so yeah, that was interesting. I recommend that. I tried to take a picture of each place I was, and I wanted to do like a collage of it and post it on Facebook and just get tons of likes, but my phone kind of, I lost my phone or something, and I lost half of the picture, so
that sucks.
No one would ever believe me.
I believe you. I believe that you reached at least 67 for sure.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
Jeez. So what was your strategy when you were trying to undertake such a lofty goal?
It was during the time when I had my son, my first son, and I was just doing a lot of long walks, and trying to figure out where I could just go in somewhere.
Yeah.
Like legally, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, that's an interesting project, but that kind of failed.
Well, you successfully have some pretty sweet stories.
What's that? Sorry?
You have some pretty sweet stories from that adventure. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty sweet. Was like moving to the island at St. Barth, was that another project, or was that something a little more long term?
That was my 2016 project.
This is a pretty sweet project for sure.
2016 was going to try to be a really healthy, strong version of myself, which kind of didn't happen. And that happened like 70% maybe, and then also move to the Caribbean. That was enough work.
That's a good
for
one.
That year.
It's a legit project.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going so far? How do you like it?
It's going really well. I mean, it was way more work than I imagined. Preparing to leave because we had to sell an apartment and just plan everything. There's a lot of paperwork and we had like a loft on the 5th floor with no elevator that had like just stored like all our shit from the last like 17 years or something, and I had to empty that. So I actually got a knee injury from walking up and down the stairs.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
With all those tons of just like stuff. So yeah, I have some knee problems right now because I emptied a loft.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah,
that's a lot. I know.
But that was a lot of work to get prepared. I felt like like a rocket trying to escape gravity. Mm-hmm. You need like an immense amount of energy, and then when you finally escape, you're just kind of cruising. That's really how it felt. So, and then getting there, you just started from complete scratch in a new place, where you started in an empty apartment on an island where you can't really buy anything that you need.
Yeah.
And all the stores close all the time because people just like need time to relax and do nothing, I guess. So it's very interesting, but like we're 2.5 months in now and it's going pretty well.
Oh, that's great.
My son just started in school yesterday.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Apparently the French, they start the kids in school already at 3. That's
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's been also that, I mean, we had him at home every day for 2.5 months. That takes a lot of time it's not much free time to get settled and stuff. So, and things there are just generally like super slow. Mm-hmm. As in, like trying to get a bank account could easily took me like a month at least, and still waiting for my credit card.
Yeah. So
I can make payments. I'm gonna get a checkbook. That's so badass.
Yeah.
Apparently they use checks there. I haven't seen one since the 80s or something, but I always wanted one. So
now's your time.
I'm overly excited about owning a checkbook. I'm gonna write checks all the time.
You should get a very fancy checkbook, maybe a Jiu-Jitsu Globetrotters logo on it. Something
like that.
How easy is it to run your business from the island? Is it harder than you thought, or how's it going so far?
No, it's very easy. Apart from I just haven't had much time to actually work. Like I don't have much office time there.
Yeah.
My office is in the kitchen right now, and since I'm like full time on the kids, then I have a few hours in the evening where I go through some emails. But it's also kind of healthy for me to dial down the pace of my life a little bit. I was going way too fast and hard in Copenhagen, so in St. Barts I'm pretty much forced to live a very, very slow life.
Yeah.
Which is difficult to accept in the beginning, but it's I like it now.
Was there anything that you thought was going to be a challenge that it turns out wasn't anything to worry about at all?
Well, the main worry, of course, as anyone who have kids, is like you do something that makes your child, sad.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to leave, but hopefully it's good for them in the long run. So there's been a lot of worries about that, like a constant measurement of how he was doing, how he liked it, but it's going pretty well. I mean, he started school yesterday, and like pretty much he'd been there one day and he came home and spoke English. I have no idea how that happened.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, kids are amazing like that. Like,
that's
I don't
really
know.
Cool.
Yeah, he came home and like asked questions in English. It's like, shit.
Wow.
How can you do that in one day?
That's so cool.
Yeah, so the school is both French and English, and it's literally right on a beach. Like it's on the beach. It's pretty cool place to go to school.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, that's definitely a once in a lifetime type of opportunity.
Yeah.
You just have to do it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. it's exciting.
What's the jiu-jitsu like on St. Barth? How's it going?
Sorry?
What's the jiu-jitsu like at St. Barth?
It's pretty good. We have a pretty good group of really enthusiastic people, like probably 25 guys or something, who show up to pretty much every class. And they've trained there for quite a bit, like 4 years or something.
Yeah.
I think the only input they ever had was like, someone come to visit for a week or a few days, and they kind of show them their favorite moves, and they never had anyone to show them like the absolute basics from scratch. So I'm on a mission of just starting from lesson 1, headlock defense and all that stuff. So I've been spending 2 months on doing basic wrestling, and like defending headlocks, pretty much as close to self-defense training as I would go, because I think that's kind of silly, but like real basics. I think I can get them up to par like pretty quick, because they do have pretty good like movement, balance, body mechanics. They can wrestle, but they don't know. They just miss like the absolute basic foundation of understanding the game. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm very impatient with it.
Yeah.
because I come from it's a luxury problem, but I came from a gym I built up over 14 years where I had like probably a good 30-40 guys who could really push me to my limit.
Yeah.
Every single roll I would think I was gonna die afterwards.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna take a little while before I get these guys up to that level, but working on it. So they're super enthusiastic. They're just it just takes some time.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot to learn.
For sure. So you kind of mentioned, like you said, previously they'd only had people dropping in and showing maybe their favorite technique, and then I assume they would probably drill that sequence, on their own and get pretty good at it.
Yeah.
A lot of these smaller gyms that you travel to, like places in Greenland or
Sorry, you're falling out.
I know these bells in around. I have the same bells in my city. They chime at every day at 6 p.m. for like 20 minutes. But anyway,
I'm at the red light district right now.
Oh man, that's a loud place.
Some sleazy guys. Well, I probably look pretty weird too, with my hoodie, just walking around here talking to myself.
Hey, I'm glad I can help keep you safe.
Yeah, that's good.
But anyway, what I was saying was, in lots of these smaller gyms that you go to, like Greenland or St. Barth, or places where it's mostly just drop-ins, maybe drop-in instructors for a short period of time, do these guys develop like really interesting jiu-jitsu games, or do you see it like more traditional than someone might think?
No, well, it's hard to say, but I do think that they're pretty good. They just they're just better at doing a flying triangle than escaping mount by moving your hip, right? So that's a little challenge, but it's interesting too. I must say that when I was teaching my gym in Copenhagen for many years, like almost 14 years, and I really enjoyed it, but at some point, I just have so many guys there who are really, really high level. Like, they match me in every aspect of the game. Yeah. And teaching them a class, it kind of doesn't always make sense. It's like half of them know it already, the other half they feel like it doesn't fit into their game because it's so developed. Maybe a few people can actually use it, but what we got most out of together back home in Copenhagen was just meet up, roll, and talk, and experiment a little bit. That's what we all learned from. So I think I lost like a little bit of the passion for teaching because everyone was just so good. I mean, they could teach me instead. But I really refound that here, being able to teach someone completely from scratch and just trying to there's a lot of talent there. And, the guys really want to learn it. And they're in great shape, and a lot of them do other sports. Like there's quite a few surfers there who are in really good shape, and it's very interesting to try to take that group and see what I can turn it into. Because anything I teach them, they're like a sponge. All of them. They just like give me knowledge.
That's so cool.
And that's pretty cool. So I really feel I really have I'm looking very much forward to teach a complete beginner's class, which I haven't really been looking for. It was more like routine at home.
Yeah.
So I love to train there, but I mean, the real passion for teaching, I actually thought at some point I would just like stop teaching because I would just do something else, but just train instead, just roll.
That's what I listened to another podcast that you were on. I think it was the Show the Art podcast, and I remember you saying that back then, that you just felt like you just wanted to roll. You didn't even really want to like get better. You just wanted to roll and train and have fun. And I thought that was really cool. But it's also cool to see that you've gone back to now wanting to teach people more, and that makes a lot of sense as to why you would feel that way.
Well, yeah. I love teaching now there. I mean, that's super, super interesting. But at the end of the day, all I really want to do pretty much for myself is just roll and listen to music. So that's my real interest with Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. One thing, you mentioned this earlier, and you also mentioned in your book, is what you think about self-defense. I remember reading that in your book, and I think what you said was, like, from your experience growing up, people would only get in an altercation if they were acting like a douchebag. And if you have common sense and just act cool, you're probably not going to need self-defense. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I mean, of course, it depends on where you live and stuff, but I mean, and even that, I've been. Sorry, I'm in a little busy street here.
No problem.
I'm looking at lots of tits here while I do this podcast, by the way.
That's the best way to do a podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I always do. But anyway, whoa, shit, she was really big. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, of course, places are different, and they're higher risk. But I mean, in general, I've been trying to be as drunk as possible, as strong as I possibly could, like in every corner of the world, and nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
A lot of situations where I could definitely have ended up in some kind of altercation, like a lot, where there's a little bit of a vibe that you just need to pick up on it. But if you just remove yourself from the situation, then at least this works so far. I just based that. That's my theory. I base it on that statistics.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then some people say, I never do anything, but I always get in a fight. Maybe you actually do something if that's always you.
I've met a lot of people like that who say, I never do anything, but I always seem to be in a fight. And then you meet them when they're drunk. They say that when they're sober, and then you hang out with them drunk. And you're like, okay, I can see how you get in fights all the time.
Yeah. It's probably like it's an attitude thing. And,
I agree.
Usually nothing ever starts unless you ask for it to start, right? It's always like, blah, 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 something about your mother. And, and if you give a little provocation back, if you pick up on it, then it's actually like, I'm sure someone could back this up with some like scientific data or like something about how we're all monkeys or something. But I mean, I don't think many people really fight before they agree on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, there have to be some pushing back and forward, some exchange of provocations.
Right.
I think if it's only one person who want to do it and the other person just kind of walks away, I don't know. I have no experience with street fighting, but maybe that actually makes me an expert because I've been really drunk everywhere and always managed to not fight anyone.
Honestly, the best self-defense that I ever learned was avoidance. Like recognizing, like you said, when there's a vibe or when something could happen, and recognizing those situations where you're like, hey, there's a drunk dude on the street. Like just the other day, I was walking to go get a pizza, and there's this really drunk dude on the street, and he was like yelling at people and doing all sorts of stuff. And luckily, he didn't like mess with me while I was walking to the pizza place. But then on the way back, I took a different route home, so I didn't walk by him. And I was like, that's self-defense. It's not. I could walk by him and risk like getting an altercation, but why should I do that? Yeah. Like, just take a different route home.
I completely agree.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like 90% of self-defense right there, is just being aware of things. Yeah,
absolutely. But anyways, I have absolutely zero interest in self-defense, so let's talk about something else.
So going back to what you're saying about Austria, can you explain to people why Austria is, in your opinion, like the...
Sorry, you're falling out?
No problem.
Oh wait, there's a truck coming in here. I think I'm in the female street or something.
Oh.
These girls have some big fucking hands.
Man, it's man hands from Seinfeld.
Yeah. Oh, alright. So, what did you say? Sorry.
No problem. So, you said before that the Austria camp is the most intense of the Globetrotters camps. Can you explain to people why you think that is?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a very packed schedule. Like, there's a lot of stuff we're trying to do in a very few days.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, it's pretty much just like 3.5 days. Right? I think we're going to extend it by a day, but I'm not sure. People might just die because it's simply too crazy. But every single day, you have to wake up early. You don't have to, but most of the participants do. Like, wake up early, go skiing, snowboarding for like we're out for like 5-6 hours every day.
Wow.
And that's pretty hard on the legs, because when you're there for a few days, you want to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And so you go out skiing, snowboarding for all day pretty much, and as soon as that ends, you're back, quick, get some food, and go train. Or maybe some guys go to this like kind of like a sauna, swimming pool thing right next to the place where we have free entrance. So a lot of people go there, sit in the sauna for an hour or something, and then you go train. Usually we have like 3 classes in the evening. There's classes all day, classes and nomad all day. Some people just don't want to ski or snowboard.
Yeah.
So there's quite many people training during the day. But the biggest class in the evening, we have 3-hour class and then 2-hour open mat, and we finish the open mat usually at 11.
Wow.
So that's a long day, and then of course we get drunk.
Of course.
So and then you repeat that for 3-4 days.
Man.
That's
How much sleep did you get every single night?
Not much.
Not much?
Definitely not much.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time though. I'll be there. I think I'll be there next year. We're gonna book the trip for sure whenever you open it up.
Yeah, I already booked everything there.
Oh, that's awesome.
January. I just gotta decide on a few details, and maybe I'll extend it with a day, and maybe I'll try to bring in more people because we can use a bigger sports hall.
Oh, okay.
But I got to look at the numbers and think a little bit about it. If I really, right now it's pretty cool. We have the mats in the hotel, so you just walk downstairs.
Oh, that's
so
sweet. That's real sweet.
It's very easy when you need to get after training. You just walk up and shower. If I want a bigger mat space, people are gonna have to walk like 3-4 minutes through the snow.
Oh, okay.
In their wet gi. So
yeah.
But then we would have 400 square meters of mats. So it's like it's a give and take. I'm not really sure yet what we do, but
okay.
I'll make a decision within a few weeks and then announce it.
That's awesome.
I think it would be pretty cool to do like a full week with 160 people. That's the capacity of the hotel. Instead of now we have 3.5-4 days with 100 people.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
So maybe, I don't know. I have to think about it. I put a lot of thought into the planning of these camps, but we'll see. It's gonna be the first week of January regardless. So I think maybe a week is gonna be way too intense.
Yeah. I can't.
We might have our first camp casualty if we do that.
Yeah. Do you?
They don't think maybe people will just relax more and spread out the training and the skiing more, but maybe that's not going to happen. But police on the motorcycle just almost ran me over on the bridge there.
You should go pull him over.
Well, he's on a motorcycle. I'm walking.
Oh, man.
They probably think I'm a drug dealer with my hoodie.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Very important drug deals.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's really cool about the camp. I think either way, it's going to be a fantastic time for sure. So comparatively with the Austria camp and the weather that's over there, how's the intensity level versus like your beach camp? Is the beach camp a lot more relaxed, or do you kind of bring a more intense training environment there too?
No, I think if Austria is the most hardcore, intense camp of them all, the winter camp, then the El Salvador beach camp is definitely the most relaxed.
Yeah.
We pretty much spend most day. I mean, we get up super early to surf for like 3 hours from 7 a.m. usually, and then we train in the evening, like a very long, slow class, several hours of rolling and just like talking. And it's a small group, so it's I can spend more time with each person. But during the day, we're usually kind of tired.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hammock time and reading.
That sounds great. That sounds really cool.
It's nice. And then the Caribbean island camp is kind of the in between. It's relaxing, but we do a lot of stuff too. So.
How was your Greenland camp in comparison to the other camps? Was it kind of its own type of thing, or would you say it was similar to Austria or one of the other ones that you've done?
I think just location alone, Greenland is as unique as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, I really felt like it was super remote there. Like I couldn't probably imagine a place I could go apart from maybe Antarctica or something where I would feel that isolated and that far away from the rest of the world, and still be in like civilization.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. I mean, I loved it there. It's you had to land like, I think the only place on the island, which is enormous, where they can land a big plane, and then from there you need to take a propeller to whatever city you need to go to. Even Nuuk, the capital, they can't land anything else but a small propeller there. So,
really?
And then it's the towns are just like there in the middle of nowhere. And there are no roads out of town pretty much. Like you can't drive to another town because it's that raw nature,
Yeah.
I really felt like nature was in control there. Like that I was just a tiny little ant that it could crush anytime, It was so majestic with the like icebergs and mountains, and it was super quiet because there are not really any plants or anything, like not much vegetation.
Yeah.
So even if there's wind, you don't really hear anything move, and not really many no animals that made any sound. It's just like the quietest place I've ever been. It's almost like my ears were imploding from the vacuum of silence there.
Wow.
That was super interesting. You just walk out the door in the morning and it's as silent as you could possibly imagine. It's fantastic. And it's just really raw, there are guard posts where they guard the city against polar bears 24/7, 365. So
man,
it's
that's cool.
Nature's ready to eat you at any point, but you got to defend yourself. And inside the city, you can walk around like normal, but I think pretty much everywhere else in Greenland, you can't go anywhere out your door without a rifle in case you're getting attacked by a polar bear.
Wow.
So even if you go down to a little supermarket, you need to bring a rifle everywhere.
Yeah.
It's badass.
Did you carry around a rifle when you were there?
Huh?
Did you carry around a rifle when you were there?
No, because we were in the city, so
gotcha.
It's protected.
Oh, I
see. By the city, guards that at the outskirts of the city watching polar bears.
That's like some Skyrim stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
They say once or twice a year, a polar bear will come near the city, and sometimes they sneak through the guards, and just walk around the town.
Jeez, that's not good.
Yeah. No, and everybody needs to get in the door. especially if they catch a whale or something and they have to chop it up in the harbor because it's too big.
Yeah.
They can just smell it from probably 100 kilometers away.
Oh my god.
And they just come running.
That's so scary.
It is. It's so badass. I loved it. I really loved it. I really felt like I was out there in nature. You know.
Now
we took like a whale watching, like on a sailboat for all day pretty much, and it was like really made my heart stop. I saw like a huge fucking whale just come up right in front of the boat.
I love whale watching. I went whale watching in Canada a few times and had a similar experience. It's very awe-inspiring for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking, I haven't planned the next Greenland camp yet. I really want to go back, so that's usually the criteria for if it's happening or not. But my idea with it is that someone pooped on the street. Charming.
Gotta go somewhere.
That was not from a dog. Definitely not. Okay. So my plan is to maybe do it like in the middle of the winter up there and just call it Ultimate Winter Camp. Where, it's like super dark and cold.
Sub-Zero camp.
Yeah. Well, you don't go to Greenland for the weather anyway.
Yes,
right?
true.
So we might as well go all in and just do the most intense winter camp you could possibly imagine. It's not going to be for everyone, but I imagine we need to shoot, snow scooters and shoot some animals and like wrestle with seals and jump from ice rake to ice rake.
You could do like
Stuff
BJJ
like that.
against polar bears. You can teach a class about that. I'm sure some of the locals will have some experience.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope I can make it happen, but there's a lot of projects on the whiteboard, so
Yeah.
it's gonna work out one day or another.
Yeah. Man, that's so cool. So you just announced recently that you're going to be doing a camp in Heidelberg, and that's very exciting for me, especially because Heidelberg is like 45 minutes away. So I'll probably see you there. And what types of expectations do you have for this trip? What do you think the vibe's going to be like?
Well, I'm trying my best to come up with a way to like force people to travel and not just do the camps in their backyard, because I think like the camps are, one is a jiu-jitsu experience, but it's also a travel experience that you can't normally get that easy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, try to force people to go somewhere they wouldn't normally be able to go, or would take too much effort. So I'm always disappointed when someone like you, Paul, say they want to go to their home camp.
I'll be going to the other ones too, don't worry.
Good. You need some adventure.
I know. I have a very boring life.
It's an important ingredient in having a good camp experience is that you go somewhere that you would not normally be able to go, right?
That's true. That's a cool way to think about it. What types of places have you thought about? What's the craziest place that you have considered doing a camp? Is there any place that you thought about doing a camp but it ended up not working out?
Oh, man, I just kind of wrapped up my research period here for like the last 4 months. I've been researching places for what's possible. I started with 45 possible locations that were doable, and just went through all of them. Going through all the logistics of mats and food and accommodation and how do people get there and how many people can we fit and compared to like what kind of vibe we want to create, and I boiled that down to like 8 camps. So
oh wow,
I mean I've been through a lot of places, and the checklist is long before a camp can work, and even if it works, the dates need to fit in the schedule, and I know I always get inquiries from people like, hey, do something in Thailand, that'd be cool, but I can't work with just like general areas. There's a lot of things I need there, but it's fun. I really like it. I think it's very interesting to pretty much try to come up with the most interesting, adventurous trips I can possibly imagine for myself, and then see if I can invite someone else along.
Yeah, that's a cool way to think about it, and it's great because, like you said, the criteria has to be a place that you would visit. And
absolutely. The camps are 100% just my holidays.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so cool.
That's how I look at it. I plan my own dream vacation, and then I just invite someone else along. which happen to be usually like 100 people or more. So the camps are only trips that I want to do, really. But yeah, I've looked at some pretty crazy places, but it's difficult. There's a lot of things that have to work out. I think Greenland is definitely up there as the craziest one.
Yeah, for sure. It's so cool, man.
I mean, even now living there is easier, but even doing a camp on the tiny island in the Caribbean is also kind of a logistic challenge.
I bet. What are some of the challenges that you normally face for something like that? In terms of food or lodging or whatever people might not think about.
There's a lot you don't think about. I would say that I have a checklist, like a standard checklist for every camp I want to do, and it has 280 items.
Wow.
So I mean, there's a lot of things. It's down to the smallest detail that I go through just to make sure I don't forget anything. So there's a lot of logistics and thoughts going into planning these things, and usually everything is planned like a year in advance before the camp. So when you go to a camp now, that was the work I did like a year ago, planning everything.
Yeah, man, that's stuff that people might not think. I think maybe some people think that there's not much that goes into it, especially when you were just mentioning, how many people are sending you ideas of places to go to and stuff like that.
Sometimes I mean, that's where I get a lot of input. It's like from people randomly, saying, "Hey, by the way, I've been here, and they happen to have like 400 square meters of mats."
Oh, that's cool.
And the place is super interesting. That's pretty much how every single camp, like I would say 9 out of 10 camps happens from I meet someone at the camps who live somewhere or like have been somewhere where they like this so much,
Yeah.
And there happen to be mats. If they're not mats, I don't even start looking at it.
Right.
Because it's such a nightmare to get mats anywhere, enough mats. So
yeah.
And I'm already working like full time on investigating 45 locations with mats, so I'm not gonna add more.
Yeah.
To that. So.
Add in a place that doesn't even have the proper mats.
No.
Yeah. Kind of going into what we were talking about at the start about being a jiu-jitsu digital nomad. I see it a lot. I see lots of people, especially on the Globetrotters page, people have such awesome trips. What are some things that you think could help someone if they want to pursue that lifestyle of traveling all over the world? Is there anything that you think they need to consider especially?
No. You know what? I really, how do I put this? I don't like life coaches. I think life coaching is a terrible thing. It's super cringe, in my opinion. And I really don't want to be like a jiu-jitsu life coach.
Yeah.
I think that the right way to do stuff like that is leading by example. So I guess that's what I do. I don't want to give any advice on how hey, here are top 10 things you need to do so you can grow curly hair and live on an island in the Caribbean and don't work in an office,
one secret to help you travel anywhere in the world and fight polar bears with.
Yeah, if you ever see me write that blog post, just unfriend me on Facebook or something.
It might not be you.
No, yeah. So no, I don't have any advice. Really. Yeah. I mean, I could tell you. I would just say what I've done, but I mean that won't work for everyone. So
true.
Yeah. So no, I don't know. Quit your job. I don't know.
Quit it right now.
Quit it right now. Yeah. Well, I have been. I've been writing since my last book. I've been writing, taking notes. For it's been like 4 years. Yeah. 3 or 4 years of taking notes on like everything I do. I've kind of been thinking about should I write another book, and I have like 600-700 pages. But no matter how I look at it, I can't not make it look like kind of a jiu-jitsu life coach book. Yeah. I really don't want to publish that. Yeah. I think there are some really good things in there. Like I put a lot of thoughts into this, obviously, like designing this kind of life for myself, but to start and kind of sell that to others, that would,
What type of notes do you take? What type of what's filling up this book?
Just thoughts.
Yeah.
Thoughts on I try to read and think a lot about these things, and something pops up in my head when I'm in the shower usually, and I just quickly write it down, and I have a lot of stuff.
Reddit shower thoughts.
More like philosophical stuff, and it's
okay.
All right. Imagine I write a life coach book, Christian's Guide to Living the Jiu-Jitsu Lifestyle. That's probably what's in it.
Right.
But I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll find some kind of way to angle it where, but I don't want anyone. I don't want to be the jiu-jitsu life coach.
Just call the book, just publish it, and call it Travel the World for Free by Christian Graugart.
No, that sounds like the worst idea ever, Paul. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I think that's
soon I'll be selling online video courses in how to network and find mentors and shit in the jiu-jitsu community. Oh my god.
How to build the perfect camp to live on an island in the Pacific, or Caribbean rather.
It would be no, I don't know. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. I think I like that perspective, lead by example. That's one of the things, actually, I've said it before on this podcast, that I'm interested in talking to people about on this show is not necessarily here's how you can be successful as an academy owner or a business owner or whatever, or a world-class athlete. I mean, obviously that stuff is fascinating as well, but I really like talking to people like you who are living a quote unquote jiu-jitsu lifestyle, but you're not a traditional, you're not a traditional jiu-jitsu, what people would think as a full-time martial artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm too lazy to be a competitor.
Right, of course. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't want to drill and eat healthy all the time. So that's why I had to find another way to do it.
Dude, it's working out great. I think you're inspiring a lot of people. Seriously.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's probably good. It's nice, to kind of share those experiences with other people.
Yeah.
It feels very right to do something that makes a lot of people happy.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels very right. So it feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah. Christian, I know you've got to go, and you had the most intense experience that a Globetrotter can have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it was not that wild for me this time because I had my original schedule to arrive 1 day early, just rest for a full day, so I could arrive rested and everything. But I missed my flight from St. Barts to St. Martin, the neighbor island, because there was a flat tire in one plane and they couldn't close the door in another plane, so they canceled my flight. It was the last one.
That sucks.
The sun set, so they can't fly when it's dark because there's no lights on the little planes. So they didn't have time to fly back and forth enough time. So I missed the flight in Amsterdam. So I had to go back home. I'd been sitting in the airport for 2 hours. Had to go back home, buy a new ticket for the next day. Yeah. Which went through Paris to Munich. That was 2,500 euros.
Wow.
But for a one-way. But there was that or not showing up to the camp. And,
that sucks, man.
So, but with that, I would actually arrive the same morning as the camp started in the afternoon, and looked like I could make it. So I get to Paris 6 a.m, no sleep on the plane, and then I missed my flight to Munich because the connection was too short. And I don't know, the passport control, they were sleeping or something.
That sucks.
I missed the flight, but they're like, oh, no, don't worry about it. We just put you on another flight. You just have to wait for 8 hours.
Whoa.
So that means I would miss the ride. Some guys were giving me a ride from Munich.
Yeah.
I would miss that, and I would arrive like at midnight, the day of the camp start. So again, I had to be fast and buy another ticket to Munich right away so I could get there in time because I needed a ride. I couldn't rent a car and drive. I hadn't been sleeping all night.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of snow. So I had to buy another ticket to Munich. I got there, got a ride, and I arrived like 1 hour late for the camp, which was I had no idea how that worked out, but I arrived just 1 hour late. To probably the biggest applause I ever had from arriving to a camp.
That's nice.
It's a standing ovation. That's great.
Nice. That's an adventure.
I really felt like I had been, in like a real struggle trying to get from the other side of the planet to get there. Like everything failed. So I got there, and then I was like, okay, at least I'm gonna get home, like go home Tuesday morning as planned.
Yeah.
Then I find out that I'm supposed to be an experienced traveler, right?
Right.
If you miss the first flight of return ticket, the entire ticket is void. So
gotcha.
I lost my ticket that I paid like a lot of money for.
That sucks.
So I needed to buy another ticket home, but I had to wait one extra day. Otherwise, it would just be like 3,000 euros for one way today. So I'm gonna have to wait to fly home till tomorrow. So yeah, it's been quite a challenge to get here and back, but I hope it works out better next time. I asked in the airport at home, I said, maybe I shouldn't book the last flight of the day next time because of sunset and if there are any delays. They're like, oh, the last flight. No, don't ever do that. If the airport staff says that, you're like, okay.
Okay. Point taken.
Yeah. No, we never do that. Are you crazy? That's always canceled. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so I hope I can get some of those tickets refunded. But,
yeah.
I mean, I just closed my eyes and entered my credit card number and I just need to get there. But
that's quite an adventure.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Anyway,
I really hope you have a successful trip home.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I don't want to miss my flight tomorrow morning.
Christian, it's been great having you on the show. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for making this happen, man. It's been great.
Yeah. I'm sorry it's been so difficult, but
oh no, it's fine, man. Thanks so much.
It was fun. Cool, man. Take care, Paul.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
Somewhere in the world at some point, right?
For sure, man. Either Heidelberg or Austria, or hopefully both. Hopefully somewhere.
You're not allowed to go to Heidelberg, so figure something else out.
I'll move away. I'll move to back to the United States, and then I'll come to Heidelberg.
Okay, approved.
Yeah.
So I'll see you there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna get some food and get some sleep.
Hey man, sleep well. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care, man. Bye.
Thanks again to Christian for being on the show, and thanks everyone for tuning in. It means a lot. Really does. Go to bjjglobetrotters.com and check out everything that Christian has going on, including training camps, affiliate programs, apparel, all sorts of stuff. I have a lot of their gear actually, and it is top notch. I will definitely be at the BJJ Globetrotters camp in Austria next January, so I hope to see some of you guys there. I hope that this podcast inspired you to go to an adventure of partying, snowboarding, and jiu-jitsu. If you guys enjoy the show, please go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and a review. It's a really, really easy way to support the show. Helps us appear higher in the iTunes rankings, and overall, just really great way to help out. We have lots of great things going on at the Matrix YouTube page. We just started releasing narrated videos. So for example, we have in the past done videos of sparring and techniques, but it's always been set to some outstanding music. Super catchy stuff, it always gets stuck in my head. But we just started doing for you narrated videos. We think that this is a easier way to learn, rather than just watching a video of sparring or something like that, having whoever did the sparring session narrate the role. So maybe they're talking about, hey, this is what I was thinking in this incident, or here I made a mistake and I shouldn't have done that. So we think it makes it more interesting and you get more out of the role. For us, you get more out of creating the video because you're deeply analyzing what happened in that role. So we think that it's a really cool thing that we're starting to do. So we're really excited about these videos and would love for you to check them out. For all those videos, go to matrix.com. We are putting out new episodes of this podcast every weekend. Can't wait to show you guys what's coming up next. Thanks for listening.